How are you? Welcome to another question and answer session. This is the question: cortisol is predominantly produced in which of the following? That means the origin of cortisol of which of the organ or part of the organ. Here the options are zona fasciculata of the adrenal gland, zona glomerulosa of the adrenal gland, zona reticularis of the adrenal gland, adrenal medulla, and posterior lobe of the pituitary. So we have to know details about the cortisol and their origin of the cortisol. For this condition, first of all, we have to know details about the adrenal gland. This figure section showing this is the adrenal gland, and in the lower picture here we can see this is the cortex and the medulla. In the cortical part, different type of hormone produce, and from the medulla also different type of hormone produce. Among them, the cortex, they are also divided in the three parts. Most superficial is the zona glomerulosa, then second part zona fasciculata, and the third part is the zona reticularis. So zona glomerulosa, zona fasciculata, and zona reticularis, this is the three parts of the adrenal cortex or cortex of the adrenal gland. And here we can see the zona reticularis, it releases the aldosterone. Zona reticularis, it releases aldosterone. Zona fasciculata, it releases cortisol and androgen. And zona reticularis, actually zona fasciculata and reticularis, they releases cortisol and androgen. The zona fasciculata, it is responsible for release of the cortisol, and zona reticularis, they are responsible for release of the androgen hormone. And the adrenal medulla, it releases epinephrine and norepinephrine. So again, zona glomerulosa, it releases aldosterone. Zona fasciculata, it releases cortisol, and zona reticularis, it releases androgen. Again the picture, this is the zona glomerulosa, zona fasciculata, and zona reticularis, and the medulla of the adrenal gland from outside to inside. Again the picture, the outer portion, this whitish portion is the cortex and inner portion is the medulla. From the cortex, cortisol, aldosterone, and androgen release, and from the medulla, epinephrine and norepinephrine released. This is the relative glucocorticoid activity or different type of the steroid. Hydrocortisone, it's 1, and prednisolone 4 times, dexamethasone 25 times. So cortisol, it is released or it is secreted by zona fasciculata of the adrenal gland, which is the middle layer of the adrenal cortex. So cortisol is released mainly from which structure? From the zona fasciculata of the adrenal gland. Other options such as zona glomerulosa, from the zona glomerulosa, aldosterone release, zona reticularis, androgen release, adrenal medulla, epinephrine and norepinephrine release, and posterior lobe of pituitary, it release vasopressin and oxytocin.